What to look for when considering an ETF. ETF is exchange traded funds. There are so many ETFs available nowadays that we are actually spoiled for choice and can find one that covers just about any area. That said, there are a few important points to bear in mind when we choose one. Going to keep this as a simple guide, mainly for personal reasons. Things we should know. 1. Sector knowledge. It would be wise to choose an ETF in a sector that one understands and has done their homework. Just because you think that technology or pharmaceuticals are big players and will do well, this does not necessarily mean that the ETF you choose in this industry is going to do well. 2. Fund manager track record. Find out who is running this portfolio and do a little homework on this person. See their track record and get an idea of their experience. 3. Longevity. How long has this current ETF been running? This isn't always the most important factor, though from this you can work out how it has performed to date, and that is information worth knowing. 4. Expenses, costings to hold your chosen ETF, and also costings if you choose to monthly drip feed into it. Knowing your yearly costs and how you plan to fund it can also help you make a decision about what sort of ETF is right for you. 5. What's in the bag? It is a good idea to look at the companies within your ETF of choice. Often there can be a heck of a lot in there, so at the very least, just do a shallow dive into it and look at the top 10. When you look into the top 10 companies, I would suggest you run all 10 through your scanning software, or run your due diligence and check all 10 so as to get an idea if this is the one for you. One thing to bear in mind when looking at each company is: would I invest in this individual company, and does it look like it is doing well? Yes, it may seem like a tedious process, and yes, it may take a little while to properly look at just 10, but remember, this is your money. You are putting on the line, and you are solely responsible for making sure to do the right homework and get this right. 6. Time scale. How long are you planning on hanging on to your ETF? Is it just for a few years? Maybe 10 years? But there are quite a lot of stocks that completely outperform an ETF, so why would I choose this over them? Yes, there are many stocks that will outperform an ETF, but with a correctly chosen ETF comes a little more stability and less worrying, depending on your method of investing. The stocks within it should balance themselves, so if one isn't performing too well or even takes a hit, your funds won't take the same hit as the other stocks within it will, hopefully, pick up the slack. Also, depending on the ETF of choice, it can be more of a passive approach to investing, especially when over the long term, as it is less susceptible to market corrections / dips / volatility / complete disasters, or whatever you want to call it. It is very important to understand that investing, or trading, should never be a rushed process, as this more often than not leads to bad, or gambled, decisions, and this is a good way for one to lose a lot of money.